There is a very specific silence that happens when you look around for a hand to hold and there's no one there. Maybe you're chasing a dream that no one understands, or maybe you're recovering from a heartbreak that no one sees. It can be very, very hard when you're on your own. I think all of us want to feel that we have a soft place to fall, that in difficult times we will have someone who can put their arms around us and tell us that it will be okay. And when you don't have that, it can make you feel vulnerable and solitary. But look, if you are in this position, you are not going through this on your own. This is something I too am experiencing. And in this video, we're actually going to see how there is strength in our silent world, and how by just changing our perspective a little bit, we can really see the benefits of being alone. Okay. Talking about being alone though, being alone is very different, isn't it, to being lonely? Yeah? Being alone doesn't mean that you have to be lonely. Many people feel lonely even when they're surrounded by others. Partners in dysfunctional relationships can feel very lonely and very isolated because they're not understood. It goes for everything really, workplaces, friendships. You can still feel alone even if you're surrounded by people. But then there are some of us who are literally alone. Now, I'm quite fortunate in that I've always enjoyed my solitary time. And for me, some of this solitary time has been self-enforced. I am not contacting friends at the moment. I have my reasons why. But for me, I need to be solitary. But of course I miss that strength of having someone nearby who can just sort of tell me that everything's going to be okay. It can be really challenging, can't it, navigating life on your own? And for those of you who are perhaps in my age bracket, 51, we will be, if not now, in the future, or we will have done, going through things like losing our parents. And actually, those are real significant, pivotal points in our lives, because our parents play a major role in shaping us as human beings. Now, I have lost my father, but I feel like I've lost my mother because she has Alzheimer's, very advanced, and she can't speak. And I desperately miss just her saying to me, she always used to say, "Don't worry, it will be all right." And they were only words, but those words were always so comforting. It was just that feeling of someone's got your back, yeah? So if you're in my age group, you may be experiencing that. And you may have children, but obviously you're the parent. They're not the caretaker of your emotions. You're the caretaker of them. Yeah? Excuse me, I need a drink. I don't know why. I always need a drink of water. So yeah, there are instances in our lives that we find ourselves alone. Okay? Now, I don't want to bore you, but I have been going through a very difficult time in my life. But actually, I am so grateful for this, because I feel like I'm almost going through like a death and rebirth. I'm going through a period of massive self-discovery. And something I've discovered very recently is something that Carl Jung wrote about called oh, here we go. Right, let me try and say the word. I'm very good at not being able to speak. Individuation. Okay? I won't go on about Jung and his writings, but it actually was like a ping, eye-opening moment for me, and it's given me strength in a difficult time to think, actually, this is meant to be. This is a process that I'm meant to be going through, and I'm going to come out of it a better person. Yeah, so as it's helped me, I'm sharing it, because there may be someone else out there who it helps. And I'll just talk about it very briefly, but obviously if you want to read more about it or watch YouTube videos about it, there's plenty out there. Carl Jung, oh my goodness, individuation. Oh, just type something like that, it will come up. I can't even say it. So what is that? Okay, so what that means is, we have our ego, yeah, and our ego is like the person that we want the world to see. Okay, the person that we like to show to the world. Yeah, it's the person who has been affected by other people's beliefs and what we're told, and all these things come into the ego, right? Okay. And I call that our subconscious mind. That's our subconscious mind. Yeah. So where I've talked about people pleasing and self-sabotaging, that will be in the ego, right? And then we have the self, yeah? And that is who we are without all those influences. Yeah, a bit like a baby, when a baby's new to the world and they're discovering everything. Yeah, they're not in, you get children who are scared of dogs because their parents are scared of dogs, or, that sort of thing. Yeah, we become influenced by others' beliefs, don't we? But as very, very young children, we're brand new and uninfluenced, yeah? So it's true essence of ourself, right? And that is what I call like the conscious mind, right? Okay. So the ideal is that rather live in our ego, yeah, is that we find our true self, who we really are. Now, I have recently come to the realization that because I've always been such a big people pleaser and done everything that everyone's told me, I've been such a good girl, I just didn't even know who I was anymore. I just didn't know. Boom, sense of self completely not there, right? And that was really scary, okay? So bear with me, okay? Bear with me. So when we're in us in ourself, in our conscious mind, that's when the mask slips, our persona slips. Yeah, and we can discover who we really are, okay? Now we can discover our strengths, yeah, the things that we're good at and the things that are true purpose in life. But we can learn to become truly whole. We can learn to become like an uninjured, healed, emotional warrior, okay? Because what happens is that when you're on your own, you're not defined by anyone else, are you? You are simply alone, right? You're the one calling the shots. You're the one making the decisions. You're the one taking care of everything. And actually, when there are no outside influences, that's when you can come face to face with what Carl Jung called your shadow side. So those are all the parts of you that you maybe have kept suppressed, or maybe didn't even realize you had, okay? So again, for me personally, my shadow side has been my people pleasing. When I've worked through my people pleasing, I'm learning to put boundaries down. I never even knew what a boundary was. Never even contemplated what my needs might possibly be. My needs, what are they? Right? So I'm learning all that at the moment. I have another video about boundaries and needs. After that, I'm going to be looking at my avoidance. I have big avoidance patterns which really are very damaging to me in my life. And I am hoping that by facing these things face on, and let's face it, right? It's not easy to face something about yourself that you don't like. When you have to truly look in the mirror and go, yeah, that's me, I do that, okay? That's hard, but you know what? That takes strength, okay? And if you can face those shadow sides, yeah? If you look at yesterday's video, you will see I talk about the shadow side and how we can recognize the shadow side. So do take a look at yesterday's video. You can like heal all these core inner wounds. And then you become unshakable. You become like a warrior. You are just amazing. Okay? You are. You will be. And that is why, although it is tough, I find it tough to be the one on my own, to be the one, we have to be our own cheerleaders, yeah? We have to be the ones to say, right, come on, up you get. No, you're not going to just do this and this. You're going to get up and you're going to do this, yeah? We have to be the ones pushing us along. We don't have anyone else to do that for us. So we're going to do it for us, okay? And actually, I am feeling, if I can get through that process, I'm going to like crack open the shell of my own body and jump out like a new amazing person. That's what I'm hoping anyway. And I believe that you can do this too. Yeah? Because I don't know about you. I don't know. Please do let me know. Let me know what your situation is in the comments. I really want this to be a supportive community where we can look after each other, especially if you're like me and you're on your own. It's just great to know there's someone there who can say, hey, you know, how are you doing? And now I'm losing my train of thought. But, yeah, for me personally, I am really looking at what I want in my life, yeah? And I, for the first time ever, am going in a direction that I have decided, okay? And I'm not speaking to anyone about it. I don't want anyone else's influence, negative influence, sort of knocking me off track, yeah? But there's something great about working in silence. There's something empowering about being able to be that person who, despite having fallen into the well of despair, you have managed to pull yourself up. Despite that, you've managed to shake yourself off and look towards the light, and slowly but surely, step by step, move forward. And you're doing that for you, yeah? You're not doing that for recognition. You're not doing that for anything else other than compassion for you and for what you want in your life. Yeah, I feel very passionately about this because, you know, we can hit hard times, and those hard times can be really, really hard. Yeah? But if we can pull ourselves up and dust ourselves off and bring ourselves out to a new reality, how proud of ourselves we will be. Yeah? So if you are on a path at the moment that feels like you're on your own, yeah, just remember, you might be alone, but you don't have to be lonely, okay? Find the strength in the time that you have to really get to know who you are. And hopefully, at some point, when you've been through that process, you'll be able to embrace other people with a much stronger sense of self and confidence and an unshakable determination. Okay, well, I will leave it there, but thank you so much for listening today. If it did strike a chord with you, do look at Carl Jung, because quite honestly, it's been a real eye-opener for me and really interesting and very encouraging to read. So just a little tip for you there. And I want to just send you all my love and my light. Please do comment, love to hear from you, like, please do subscribe, because I'm trying so hard on this channel to make this just a great safe space for as many people as I can and create a family. And I would love you to subscribe and join us. And yeah, have a wonderful day.